it's me. Welcome back. So yesterday I wanted to really make it clear that um, the process of being a pro se is just it has a lot that remains unknown. This is my dog. He does this. He's going to do that if they see something outside. Sorry. So the pro se process, it takes people who are in a vulnerable state. They're traumatized. They're frazzled. They're in an environment surrounded by an opposing party who has much better legal representation, years of law school, hopefully, probably some experience in the courtroom. So, just wanting to reveal how a lot of times, even if that pro se is the very fortunate person who achieves the 1 percentile who go to court, it's highly likely that due to their trauma state, especially in instances like mine where I've been physically assaulted and mentally kind of. So you're going to hear my dogs. I have 3 dogs. I have to have them because they are my security system. I have Ring cameras, which I have captured a lot of faces who are in places that they were not invited, doing things that they absolutely knew they should not be doing. However, if you are the unfortunate recipient who is not liked by a certain species of people, or I don't know how I'm going to be safe because as a pro se litigant, I'm advising myself that my commentary can and will be used against me. Anyway, so when you have these type of aggressors, they have access to equipment. Well, actually, all citizens have access to equipment that scrambles Wi-Fi. So if you scramble someone's Wi-Fi, their video cameras are out. And then on top of that, when they are representing themselves as a pro se and they have a limited knowledge base to apply to seeking their justice, very minimal experience. Like I have no courtroom experience and would have preferred to live my life that way. But I digress. So they have access to equipment and things that you don't have, just so you know. And so I have these 3 dogs, which are a lot of responsibility. They're hunting dogs. They're wonderful. But then again, at the same time, managing 3 dogs, it is no joke. It's an all day, everyday job. And then also, there's that I mentioned yesterday. You isolate and you avoid situations, and you also avoid knowingly bringing someone into an environment where they're going to get hurt physically, emotionally, financially. That is part of the playbook, to hurt anything that you have around you. And it becomes quite a thrilling game for them. That they obviously have the advantage of winning. So anyway, you're going to hear the dogs. They're going to be there. I digress. I'm sorry. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to show you today a case that I can talk about that has similarities and really speaks to a lot of things. So this is a review by a lawyer, and he's going to tell us things that only lawyers could tell us. The case that we're going to talk about and review is a case by a guy. He was a YouTuber. His name is Ben. Ben has the very wonderful character, values that he wants to help people. So what happened was an elderly person who was, in his final days. He was concerned because he had co-signed a Lego collection for sale. The Lego collection was worth $200,000. Hard to believe. I mean, what we could do with $200,000 and some Legos. Okay, true story. So the lawyers, like I said, the lawyers are incentivized by payment because that is their job. That is how they are securing their lifestyle. Their ability to survive is based on the money that they receive in payment for the job that they do. So this case is going to show us how like those $200,000 Legos in the court of law are questionable, uh, to be in a financial bucket that really appeals to a lawyer. Now, $200,000 to that man who was experiencing his final walk means a lot, and it was taken from him just by criminal actions that weaponize the law. So Ben steps in. Ben's just this guy who wants to do the right thing. He wants to help people, and Ben gets the playbook. He gets targeted, and the law is weaponized against him in major fashion. So this is kind of the playbook. This is what happens when you get targeted. And like I said, this guy, Ben, he's helping somebody who else had been targeted by criminal actors who, gained possession of his Legos through an agreement that they were going to sell it for him and they were going to receive a commission off of the profits. It happens, that's an acknowledged form of sale. We do that. But what happens is, like I said, the law was in the advantage of the criminal in this case and in many cases, because what they do in criminal action cannot be undone by a pro se litigant or somebody who cannot find support or assistance or, any type of. It's just really hard to navigate seeking justice. It's much easier to perform criminal acts, which is, I don't know how we got there from, from To Kill a Mockingbird and Atticus Finch and all of that, but, who knows if that is going to be even a book that exists in the new electronic world that controls all knowledge. Yeah. We don't have these libraries with all these books that we know for sure have not been altered. No, now we have access to what exactly we have been decided we should be able to access. Anyway, let's look at this. It's going to be fun. This is my first video, which I get to do this for, and I want to make sure that I recognize this person. This is his video. I'm going to show you about him, and I'm going to provide you the link so that you can follow him or, learn more about it if you like. It's beyond belief, but it's a lot of information for anyone who has been victimized by criminals who use legal actions to secure their criminal process. Oh, and I got to tell you, what happens here is I can't talk while he's talking. I have to let him talk. So I'm going to be cutting in and out. I'm going to move us through this because it's kind of long. Get us some good information. And then I'm going to leave you alone because I am taking way too much of your time. And I'm so glad that you shared this time with me. So let's go.
What's up, everybody? Mark Breyer, the husband and wife law team, a real-life trial lawyer, and today we're going to get into bricks and minifigs. We're going to get into reckless Ben, but first, a huge thank you from us at the husband and wife law team to all of you. We have already passed 100,000 subscribers. We are zooming up to 250,000 like that. We really appreciate the comments. We appreciate everyone who's subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, feel really bad about yourself. Now subscribe. Now you don't have to feel bad anymore. Also, we get asked all the time, what if I have a legal question? Do you guys help? This number right there, That's the number to call if you have questions. Only you have questions. We may not be able to help. The only thing I can promise you is we'll be honest, say we can't help. Sometimes we can't, but we know someone who can. Or sometimes we can try to help and guide you, whatever it is. Now that we've done that, one other thing. So many people have been asking about Brixie Minifigs and Reckless Ben, and I didn't know anything about any of it, but I am a real life trial lawyer and I handle civil cases. And I want to give a huge thank you to Legal Bytes. It takes a village, y'all, and it takes people like what you're going to see from Legal Bytes to put all this together so that I can take my trial experience and try to help you out. So without further ado, let's go.
This YouTuber accused a LEGO resale franchise chain of stealing an 83-year-old man's Star Wars LEGO collection, which is estimated to be worth around $200,000.
Did you know that there were LEGO collections worth $200,000? I found out a couple days ago when I was told that I was going to talk about this case.
This man spent his life collecting what's now known as the world's largest LEGO Star Wars collection ever. It's estimated to be worth around $200,000. And then the entire thing got stolen, and the police are actively working with the thieves to cover the entire thing up.
It all materialized on the YouTube channel Reckless Ben, where Ben Schneider, the YouTuber, came out with a multi-part series covering what has turned into a massively viral story about allegations of theft, elder abuse, corporate corruption, and a conspiracy to use local police to keep the theft under wraps.
You see, we got a lot to go over here together.
And in response, Bricks and Minifigs, their CEO, the COO, the store franchise corporate entities, and the individual franchise co-owners filed a lawsuit against Reckless Ben and a handful of other people and entities. People are referring to this lawsuit as the RICO lawsuit, since that's the first claim listed and arguably one of the biggest ones. But another big claim in this lawsuit is defamation. But the thing is, at the moment that this lawsuit was filed, this defamation claim was already on some pretty weak foundation. But then the CEO of Bricks and Minifigs decided it was a great idea to go on essentially a press tour.
Just two quick things. Number one, can you file a lawsuit if you have no basis? Yes. If you watch me enough, you know you can sue me right now, today, anywhere in this country because you hate this tie. You miss the ties that are louder. This is too boring. You hate it so much and you sue me. There is no judge reading your complaint. So yes, the fact that it's baseless, allegedly, doesn't mean you can't file it. So the fact that someone filed a lawsuit shouldn't make you think it's real. That's number one. Number two, this is why we tell people not to talk during litigation because they say dumb things. How dumb? We're going to find out together.
Interviews about the whole scandal. This is likely because of the massive backlash that Bricks and Minifigs has seen across the board ever since Reckless Ben came out with his first video. And truth be told, these interviews appear to be a desperate attempt to change the public narrative about the controversy and to try to win the public back. But there's one big problem here. The CEO appears to be so concerned with the court of public opinion right now that he probably completely neglected to think about how his statements might impact his own legal cases. And in the process, in this recent interview in particular, I think he just nuked his own defamation.
The best defense to defamation is the truth. It's not defamation if you speak the truth. So we're going to find out what he's going to say together, but keep that in mind as you listen to this.
Okay, so starting out, let's back up and make sure that we're all on the same page here about this whole controversy. According to the lawsuit and Reckless Ben's videos, it all started with an aging collector named Eric Menzel who had a massive Star Wars LEGO collection. When it was decided that it was time to sell the collection, it was Eric's son, Brian Menzel, who took everything to a Bricks and Minifigs store in Kaiser, Oregon. Back then, that store was run by a franchisee named Crystal Law Gorman and her husband Benjamin Gorman. At this time, Brian and Crystal entered into a written consignment agreement around November 2023. This is basically where the store sells your stuff and pays you the proceeds minus its cut. And under that agreement, the Gorman's store started selling pieces of that collection.
Ready to introduce you to this amazing collection.
So you guys follow that? So simply, you can sell your own stuff. This is where someone else sells it for you. They get a cut for selling it. You can do it with couches, you can do it with clothes, and we found out together today, you can do it with the world's largest Star Wars LEGO collection.
Everything changed when the store changed hands. Why corporate took it over and handed it to new franchise co-owners is in dispute with its own lawsuit, but essentially, this appears to have been a messy turnover. Bricks and Minifigs corporate and the new owners say that they had no notice of the consignment agreement, which they also call unauthorized. Both points I am personally skeptical of, by the way. But because of that, they say that they acquired the store's assets free and clear.
Okay, so I'm learning how to do this, and it's very good therapy for me right now. So anyway, this guy, it goes on and on and on. It talks about how the store sold, and then they claim that because it sold to a new owner, the owner didn't know about the contract in between. the son who co-signed, was selling this Lego on and on and on, and then Ben he changes. He actually has a website that's like "We Steal from Old People." Please check him out. It's amazing what he has done. And so this part of the whole thing is talking about defamation, and how the only really time that kind of people can slide through it is if they say that it is parody, that they were just kind of joking about it, which I find that we do a lot as humans. I've gotten a lot of that. People have joked about my situation and how, they would fight back. They would defend themselves. They would fight, fight, fight. And I can tell you that not one time have I returned one fight, because it was so obvious that this was a weird, weird setup. It was just so unnatural to be, happening recurrently, like a replay of a nightmare. So anyway, the defamation part is what they're talking about, how you have to be careful, of accusing this person, that person, and so on and so forth. But I want to kind of skip to a part about the lawyer part, because here's the thing. We put our hand on the Bible in court and we swear to tell the truth. But according to information that I've learned through this journey, there is a actual policy in police conduct where they are allowed to lie to you. Yeah. Normal course of business procedures. Okay. So that happened. Then people go to court, and I can't even begin, now that we televise a lot of court cases and we've seen people put their hand on that Bible and everybody watched them lie. And their lies benefit their advantage because the other person who put their hand on that Bible told the truth. They held themselves, they self-governed their own morality, and insisted upon their self that they tell the truth, which hurt them in the court. So again, this whole weaponizing the law, it's a bigger deal than I ever realized. That it's a mouthful. And then the malicious prosecution, well, people have been saying that forever. And I'm in those parody conversations where people joke about it and say, well, I would do this and I would do that, and they better not come at me. Or in my situation, people who are friends of this wonderful little whatever they are. Sometimes I feel like they're a gang, but I'm pretty sure they have another name for their affiliation. Not going to go there. So, but the people who, through obligatory silence of what they know about what has been done criminally to other people by this certain group, well, if you're a friend, then, maybe they won't turn on you. But I do warn that those type of friendships are very conditional and can change really quick. So that being said, let's move on. Just wanted to talk about the fact that this whole honor system and how it works is, it is kind of spiritual warfare. Yeah. I love to read the Bible. It's a very factual book given to us for benefit of our own, spiritual condition. So, and in that book, it says that we are at war against principalities of darkness and evil. Principalities that would use lies. Principalities who would gang up against anyone who doesn't lie and who tries, to kind of live a self-governed life of morality. So that's a lot in it, but let's just go on. Let's go somewhere else.
collection in the world.
The world's largest in the world.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
They got
Hey,
away
sorry.
with it. Caught the CEO of the entire company red-handed in a lie. Yeah, it's crazy to me that even the CEO is in on this cover-up. And now the tagline's actually accurate. Also added a cute little company logo. And this is my plan. I made a website, and you can visit us at www.westealfromoldpeople.com. And so now to promote this website, I'm going to put my company logo directly.
All right, just to be clear, if you say that about a company, do not be surprised if they sue you. Now, what did I say at the beginning? The best defense to defamation is it's the truth. If you can prove it's true, it's a legitimate defense to defamation.
What about if it's parody?
So there's many defenses to defamation. One is, if it's parody, I'm not defaming it. If it's clearly parody.
Would this fall under parody? Because I feel like you can't look at that and be like, oh.
Minifigs company logo. So I asked ChatGPT what the dimensions of this billboard is. Sick. I'm making my logo with the exact same dimensions.
Yes! Oh my God! Almost exactly the same.
And we did it. And the sign is way too small.
AI is not totally there.
We ready? Hi.
Hello.
I am Ryan with the Guinness World Record Association, and I think you're expecting this actually. This is an award for most Legos stolen by any company in the world.
So on May 27th, 2026, Bricks and Minifigs fired back with a lawsuit. They sued Ben Schneider, his LLC, Brian Menzel, Ben's associate, Victor Wynn, and 15 unnamed does.
The 15 unnamed does is just so if you find others, you can add them in later in some states. It's not real.
Back either. They threw 13 causes of action at these people. There's Utah RICO, defamation per se, regular defamation, and injurious falsehood and false light. Then there's also civil conspiracy, tortious interference, civil stalking, nuisance, and trespass.
This way, if any of them get dismissed, you still have others in the background, so the lawsuit keeps going. That's why you would make all these allegations of all these different things. It also sometimes is laziness. I don't have to figure it out. Let's just throw everything at them. It can be either. It depends on the situation.
Now we're shifting to Reckless Ben's video, and we're going to focus on the police department in Utah when Reckless Ben specifically is trying to serve the new franchise owners for the lawsuit for like taking them to like, hey, you stole our stuff.
The cops are following us. What the heck? That's so crazy, dude. Obey every traffic law. Oh, shoot.
Obey every traffic law. Wait, why'd you turn it off?
This is Maricourt Police. The reason I stopped you is the stop sign didn't stop that.
I didn't? I thought I stopped.
Yeah, you definitely stopped. So you said you ran a stop sign?
Huh?
You said you ran a stop sign?
I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, I was like,
Because we definitely stopped at the stop sign.
stopped.
Yeah. I was so sure that we stopped at the stop sign that I actually requested all the police footage of this. And as you can see, we didn't even do a rolling stop. We fully stopped at the stop sign. So this is an illegal traffic stop.
So who's Ben?
Me?
Ben? How's Utah?
It's good.
Like it?
Okay, it's pretty obvious that the police know why we're here. So I just explained to them the entire situation.
This old man spent his entire life collecting the world's largest Star Wars Lego collection set.
The only problem is it's a crazy story, and the police officer did not believe me.
$200,000? $200,000. Sounds crazy.
Yeah. When the officer went back to his car, this is the message that he radioed in.
Hey, can you get the contact for Reckless Ben? Said he didn't have his ID, but you're just straight lying to me about everything else, so.
Since the cops don't believe my story, they trespassed me from the property.
Everybody today is being trespassed from that property.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? What does that even mean? What?
We were forced to go home without having this good faith conversation the court requires us to have.
Yeah, what do we do now, dude? Like, we didn't even, get to talk to him, and we're in trespass.
So, dude.
The one thing I didn't understand was
How did they know he was
how
there?
the heck did they know we were coming?
What? Look at me just jumping into the mind of Reckless Ben.
I was hiding in the back seat the entire time, and the car's windows were extremely tinted.
These windows are so tinted, you can't see anything.
But as I was outside inspecting our car tint, the same police showed up to our house.
Oh no, we're getting pulled over again?
We had heroin on us.
This officer is going to conduct the search of your person because there are substances in the vehicle. Really? So he's going to do that. I'm going to put this way, and then we'll be right. Don't. Oh, okay. Don't reach in your pockets for me, okay? Sounds good. Thank you. This.
So an anonymous caller said there's heroin in the car, and now they're just searching. You have to have probable cause to start searching. Someone who hates you saying you have drugs on you or in your car, it's probably not probable cause.
After 2 hours of searching the car, obviously they found no drugs.
So, you didn't find anything.
I explained to the police that we didn't have drugs, and the reality of the situation is that Bricks and Minifigs is so desperate at this point that they're willing to do anything to get us arrested so they don't have to pay for the property they stole. And the police was arguing back with just some of the worst comebacks I've ever heard, which is why I think the police actually redacted this audio in this clip.
No way. Public records request. When these things get redacted, you can go to court and fight the redaction. This is a public record. You and the public officer, the police officer, are having the conversation. There is zero basis why that should be redacted. But of course, what does it do? Now what? Reckless Ben, who may not be independently wealthy, has to go hire a lawyer who's willing to fight this agency in Utah. But why would this be redacted? What issue could there possibly be to protect? You're not showing a minor's date of birth. There's no reason to redact this audio if it was just a conversation where he's going, yo, you just searched my car for hours to find nothing, and I'm gonna tell you how dumb this is. Yeah, I don't want anyone to know what we talked about. The idea of this audio being redacted is offensive to me. Our government is not above us. So many people are like, I believe in law and order and the police don't like. If you believe in what this government was founded on, we hold everybody accountable. And the police are neither above nor below anyone else because they're police. There's no way that we don't have a right, in most states anyway, to hear what that cop was saying after he did a BS search after what appears to be a BS stop. There's a lot going on here. I'm not saying the police were in on it. The fact that this is a redacted audio is concerning.
Fork Police Department is.
By the way, did you see that? See the heel toe, heel toe? Don't ever do a heel toe ever in your whole flippin' life. That's a field sobriety test. If they have probable cause to give you a test, let them go ahead and give you the test. If they don't have probable cause, it is not your job to do something so they can make up probable cause that never existed. Your answer is no, I'm not gonna do field sobriety tests. There's just no upside to it.
How about no?
Why are you having me blowing a breathalyzer? It's zero.
Okay, guys, I gotta conserve your time. So I'm gonna get my next video is gonna talk about some things that have happened in South Carolina that kind of seem related to this stuff. So great video. I hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna do better. This journaling, I am gonna tell you about my case and what happened, but as a pro se litigant, I am advising myself to be very cautious and to, share what I can when I can. And I just really I need this journaling to also show you every day that I'm alive, I'm healthy. And if something were to happen to me, it should be considered highly suspicious.
I have concerns.
But I had no clue that it was about to get way
So
worse.
he's back at his Airbnb at this point.
Wait, they have guns drawn. You got to be kidding me. You have 100% got to be kidding me. You have your weapon out for these kids?
Make yourself known.
Search warrant. Stand up.
They got a search warrant.
Step outside, everybody. Come on. No. Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Okay?
Yeah, this cop pulled my arm so far back, it dislocated my shoulder. He claims it's because I was attempting to make an escape or something.
Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that.
What is that thing sitting there on the ground?
It's a cat.
Killer cat. Why is that cat not defending you when you need it?
If we go back a little bit, you can see I was being completely still when he grabbed me, and I actually made zero quick movements. So this police officer is just straight up lying so he can give me a serious injury.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
Yes. The police department got an official warrant to search our house for stolen Legos.
They thought he was the one who stole it.
No one thought that. Now it feels personal. You just came out weapons drawn to get them out of the Airbnb. Now, as edited, this feels like total abuse of power. I want to see the police stand up and prove that our cops are good cops and they didn't go get a warrant because they didn't like that someone else who actually may have done everything wrong was being protected by them and didn't like someone standing up to them.
I should have seen this coming. Josh did threaten me in the last video that if I go out and actually try to sue him, he's going to come out and say that I'm the one that stole the Legos.